Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. 5 o'clock, and it means it's time for 5 at 5. So I'm sharing 5 of my musings with you. I do this every weekday at 5 o'clock, and I would love to read your responses to the musings I'm sharing. So if you've got a thought or an opinion, please send me those messages 0809 444 981. All right, first musing. I want to talk about so-called fast foods and how they treat customers. So late last night, I was out for a personal reason, and I was somewhere. I needed to get food for someone, so I decided to go to a fast food place and just get chips, fries, right, potato fries, and called them to order. They said it'll take 10 minutes. It took about 30 minutes, but that's not even the the major problem. So after I had waited and waited and waited, they now get these 2 packs of chips for me. And I say, "Is there cutlery there?" And the girl says, "Oh no." I said, "So how is the person meant to eat this food since you're just putting serve it?" And she's like, "We don't have any cutlery." I said, "Wait, this is a fast food place. You're selling food to people. Do you expect people to eat with their hands?" And she's like, "Oh, we don't have any." And I'm holding my card and I say, "Well, I'm not going to pay if you do not give me the cutlery." And she goes, "We don't have any." I said, "Okay, that's fine then. Have a good evening." And then all of a sudden she says, "Oh, please wait, wait, wait." And then she goes somewhere, comes back with a full pack of, the take away the disposable cutlery, easily about 100 in a pack. And at this point, I'm just thinking, so were you trying to save it, perhaps to sell it or go and distribute it for as Christmas gifts to people? I don't understand. Like, what exactly is the reason? And she had this sheepish look on her face, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? It's 10:30 p.m. I've had a long day. I'm not gonna say much about this. So she wraps them up, and then now I'm ready to pay. First card, she says, "Oh, it's not working." And I'm like, "Okay, that's weird. What's it saying?" And she says, "It's declined." I'm like, "Declined? Okay. I know I have money in that account." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll use a different card." And this is my second reason, by the way. So I use a second card. Same thing. And then she goes, "Yeah, sir, we've been having problems with the POS." And I'm thinking, so why didn't you say this earlier? Why? And then she says, "Can you do a transfer?" So I do a transfer and it works. But it got me thinking, we want a cashless society, which is a good thing because I've thought about this long and hard. It's good because it's basically like people are selling cash on street corners in Nigeria. So maybe we need this cashless society. But my thing is, how can we have a cashless society when the technology part is not sorted? So the CBN, who's the regulator, needs to do more to ensure that these banks actually have the tech bit of the operation sorted. I mean, a few nights ago, I spoke about this last week. I was trying to get petrol in my car, and POS wasn't working. So we can't say we want a cashless society when the technology to back it up is not available. I mean, it's almost normal to want to pay for something with a card and then they say, "Oh, it's a network problem." Why are we having network problems in 2022? Really? We shouldn't be having these sort of network problems. I mean, I remember there have been a few times that banks have had problems in the UK. It's something so huge that even if it's for 30 minutes or 1 hour that people can't use it, it's reported in the news. But here it's like a normal everyday thing. We cannot have a cashless society when financial institutions are not working to make sure that the tech bit is sorted. And this is also something that the CBN needs to step up and do something. Let these banks be penalized for any transaction that fails. Maybe then they will sort it out if they don't have to pay or if they have to pay penalties. Just saying though. Anyways, moving on to the third musing. This one has to do with people who do good things and always feel the need to upload pictures and videos as evidence of the good deeds that they do. Good deeds. Yeah, I wish you could see me. But anyways, a skit maker uploaded a video of himself talking to a Nollywood actor who's been in the press for a few weeks about whether he's quite okay or not. Some people say he might be on hard stuff, and others believe he's okay. But whatever the case, though, it's just really strange that this skit maker shows a person in a very vulnerable position. he's giving them money and saying, please take it, sir, you made my childhood, blah blah blah. Good deed, okay, but publicizing that dehumanizes that man. Like, particularly when it's obvious from the video and from videos that have been seen that this person is struggling in one way, or in fact in so many different ways. So it's a good thing that you want to help people, but put the cameras away. A filmed good deed is probably not a selfless good deed. Just saying. All right, so let's move on to the fourth musing. Um, this one has to do with Nigerians, a certain Nigeria who may or may not be in the studio at the moment. Okay, so I think in Nigeria sometimes we're very, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but we just say things without really thinking that they could hurt the next person. All right, so let's say there was someone you wanted to describe, maybe a tall person, 6'4". Some Nigerians wouldn't have a problem with saying, oh, that guy is so long, rather than saying he's tall. Or maybe someone who is 4'11", they'll be like, oh, that person is so short. You know, oh, that person is so fat. Oh, that person's head is so big. I mean, I think there are nicer ways to describe perhaps people that would not come across as offensive if that person heard it. Or perhaps maybe we can learn to describe people not by their physical attributes or how we see them, how we see their physical attributes, because what someone might think is a big head is probably a normal sized head, right? Okay, but it's just describing people with adjectives that could be hurtful is something that we need to work on. Nigerians see someone that has lost weight and they'll be like, ah, you don't lose weight, you don't sick, or ah, you don't fat, you know, things like that. I don't know why we do it. It's almost culturally accepted. And I mean, if you have plans of doing the jackman moves, you probably would need to be a bit more sensitive with your words so you don't get into trouble. Just saying though. All right, so let's move on to our fifth and final musing. This has to do with, it's the one of the weirdest things I've ever read. So when the Russia-Ukraine war started early this year, there were reports that Ukraine was looking for people who would volunteer to fight in a war that has nothing to do with them. But anyways, apparently some Africans were dragged into this war against their will in some form. So a young man from Zimbabwe, his name was Lemekani Irenda. So this young man was in Russia. He was on some sort of government scholarship, 23 years old, studying, got into trouble. He was sent to jail for 9 years. And when the war started, one of the elite squads or something basically was offering prisoners a chance to get out of jail, like a get out of jail card, literally. So it was like, okay, if you fight against Ukraine, go to the war front for 6 months, you can actually be set free from prison, get a stipend, and go on and live your life. So this young man, 23 years old, all the way from Southern Africa, from Zambia, decided that he would take that deal, and just a month later, he died. Was it not expected though? I mean, this person was a student, and then he's recruited to go fight in a war that is between military powers, right? And you have a young person just gambling with their life and thrown in the mix. It's the weirdest thing ever. So this young man's body arrived back in Zambia. I think it was yesterday. And it was just so tragic. I don't know. Like, is that even legal? Should prisoners be, coerced into fighting? And then this man's family had no idea he died till a few months later. I'm surprised he even lasted a month in battle, considering he literally had no training. He's not a soldier. He's not in the armed forces. He was a student at university. It's so weird. And I really hope that the Zambian government would take this up, because I think it's illegal on every front. This guy made a mistake. He was in jail and saw what he thought was an opportunity, took it, and, well, he's dead. It's just so shocking. War is evil. There are no winners. no winners when it comes to war. I see your messages coming through. We'll read them at 6 o'clock right here on the Smooth Drive. That's it for 5 at 5. Do stay with us. We've got Business Hub coming up from 5:15 right here. It's Smooth 98.1.